Buenos días, queridos alumnos de Cela Spanish School Online. Bienvenidos a la clase de hoy. In this class, we will explain the indirect object pronoun in Spanish. In the previous video, we have explained the direct object pronoun. Please watch the video before this one. This video is also available in Spanish. I recommend you to watch the Spanish version as well. In this table, we have the subject pronouns, the direct object pronouns, and the indirect object pronouns. The subject is the person or thing that does the action. The direct object is the thing or person to whom the action is directed. For example, what do I buy? What do I see? Mostly it is a thing or a person that can be replaced with a thing. And the indirect object is the one who receives or is affected by the action, for whom or to whom. In our class today, we are going to work with the indirect object. The indirect object pronouns are me, te, le, nos, os y les. The indirect object is also called dative. The dative is the one who receives the action. If I say I buy a book for Maria, compro un libro para María, María is the person who benefits from my action of buying. She is the person who receives the book. Now we are going to replace the indirect object with a pronoun. This is done when the information about the indirect object is already known and we do not want to repeat it. Le is the indirect object pronoun for the third person singular. We put the pronoun in front of the verb. Le doy un libro. We often indicate the indirect object again if a misunderstanding is possible, since le can refer a ella, a él o a usted. Now, let's substitute the direct object in the sentence. The direct object is un libro. Lo doy a María. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it sounds very strange. So let's substitute a María as well. Le is the indirect object pronoun. We place first the indirect object pronoun, then the direct object pronoun, and then the verb. But there is a problem. We cannot say le lo doy. If le and les coincide with the direct object pronoun, it becomes always se. Se lo doy. But since se lo doy can refer to many people, we use the indirect object again to clarify who receives the action. This is very important. When le and les coincide with a direct object pronoun, they become se. For example, compro un libro a Juan. Se lo compro. Compro un libro a mis padres. Se lo compro. Both sentences are equal. That is why it is sometimes necessary to repeat the indirect object. Se lo compro a Juan, se lo compro a mis padres. Now it is clear who the book is for. In a sentence with the verb conjugated in any tense, we always place the indirect pronoun first, then the direct pronoun, and then the verb. Compro unos zapatos para mí. Me los compro. Los is for los zapatos. Direct object. What do I buy? And me is indirect object. For whom I buy los zapatos? First, indirect object pronoun me. Then, direct object pronoun los. And the conjugated verb compro. Me los compro. If instead of an indirect object pronoun we had a reflexive pronoun, it would go before the direct object pronoun, as in me lavo las manos, me las lavo. Muy bien, let's practice. Replace the underlined word with a pronoun. Compro el pan. Lo compro. El pan is direct object. ¿Qué compro? It is masculine singular. We replace it with lo and place the pronoun in front of the verb. Lo compro. Compro un regalo para los novios. Un regalo is direct object. ¿Qué compro? It is masculine singular. The pronoun is lo. Para los novios, a quién o para quién compro el regalo, is indirect object. The pronoun is les. Since the indirect object pronoun les coincide with a direct object pronoun lo, it becomes se. Both pronouns are placed in front of the verb. First, indirect object pronoun, then direct object pronoun, then the verb. Sometimes we need to clarify the indirect object, so we put it back into the sentence. Se lo compro a los novios. ¿Qué arregla Jaime? La televisión. La televisión es objeto directo. It is a feminine singular word. The pronoun is la. Jaime la arregla. El profesor explica la lección a los alumnos. ¿Qué explica el profesor? La lección. La lección es objeto directo. El pronombre es la. ¿A quién explica el profesor la lección? A los alumnos. A los alumnos es objeto indirecto. El pronombre es les. Les becomes se if it coincides with la. El profesor se la explica. Mi madre is the subject of the sentence because she does the action. La cena es direct object. ¿Qué prepara mi madre? The pronoun is la. ¿Para quién prepara la cena mi madre? Para nosotros. Nosotros is indirect object in this sentence. Mi madre nos la prepara. Please pay attention that nos is never a subject pronoun. It is always an object pronoun. The subject pronoun is nosotros. Nosotros preparamos la cena. El cartero trae un paquete a José. El cartero se lo trae. Muy bien. We are now ready to do the exercises in the course material. In the next video, we will explain the position of the object pronouns in the sentence, with the exceptions that exist. We invite you to visit our webpage for learning more about our courses and our school. Chao, hasta la próxima clase.